Greetings and salutations, travelers. Welcome back to the Inn of Planar Crossroads, and as always, welcome back to our Around the Hearth discussions. This time, we are discussing the cute, the weird, and the deadly. You know, because the good, the bad, and the ugly, you know? Yeah? Alright. This isn't the only pun that's going to be in this particular episode, so you better brace yourself now. Before we get into actually talking about character concepts, which we've been doing character concepts this in our third chat, that's going to be something revolving around the West. Hopefully you've been tuning in for all of ours up to this point, but if you haven't, June is our Showdown at High June month, and it is a discussion about making a kind of setup for different games and different things that you can and kind of take and plug in and do in almost any system, but we've been highly favoring our Levi's shoutout system in this particular one, as well as another one. But before we get into all that, I'll go ahead and we'll got to do Dan's introductions and announcements. He's not here, but his legacy continues on, type of thing. So, Dan's introductions and announcements. It is going to be myself and then Skrat. So, I am Adam L. Spain with the Inn of Planar Crossroads. We hope you go over to innofplanarcrossroads.com or the iopc.com. Either one of those works. And when you go there, you'll see that we're on YouTube, Rumble, BitChute, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Subscribestar, PayPal, Locals, and Patreon, all of those things, right? And you can check us out there. Those are both where our content is and where you can support us, because these options to support us don't just help us make better content, but it also gets you access to our Discord, and where we share anything that we kind of make. And we also do have discussions, and there's something called the Flumps Commons that you can go into and just post pretty much anything. It's where memes go and stuff like that. Everything goes in the Commons. And then we also will have a separate spot for our PDFs that we make, or any kind of content we make that's printable. And just supporting once gets you access to that. So there you go. It also gets you your name on the supporter, travelers, and viewers portion that is on at the very end of our videos is the bloopers and outtakes. So that's where that goes. That's what I've got. What about you, Skrat?
Name's Skrat from a Squirrel Blaze over on YouTube. Only YouTube. I don't get around as much as Mr. Planar Crossroads man here, so just YouTube and Discord. But I do TTRPG reviews, and then I also like to dwell, we will say, on the story side of TTRPGs. That way you can use it for things outside of tabletops, such as some story writing. You let me forget, because that's what I do. This is what I like to do. Speaking of, I just got my other one back today, so that was fun. But from a structural edit. But that's what I like to do. Focus on, the creatures of the world, the plots, plot hooks, characters, magic systems, things like that. Not so much mechanics. I do love talking about mechanics, but that's not what the channel does. It's more on the narrative side. Unless it's a TTRPG review, then I have to get into the mechanics, but that's neither here nor there. That's all I got.
Okie dokie. Well, that means we're done with Dan's introductions and announcements, and we can pop on over to our much talked about, more talked about than us, I would say, shout out, Tales from Elsewhere. And it is who we've been kind of using as a real inspiration and idea kind of flowing thing. This Wild West stuff is going in that and working in that. Tales from Elsewhere has this kind of grim setting and stuff like that is really good. It's Wild West meets Lovecraft type of situation. So I like it personally. I like the setting personally.
It's very good. Cool he's put a lot of work into it, and his channel does focus more on like design theory and philosophy for tabletops. So he really has a focus, whereas I don't.
Squirrel without focus?
Well, I can't focus. Who would have thought?
But that's good. You can check him out, and you'll be hearing more about that. Last time in our adventures thing, you heard quite a bit about the Oilers and stuff and how it was affecting things. So we're taking a lot of inspiration from that. And that's what we've got mainly for this as our Levi shout-out. So that means we're done with Dan's introductions. We're done with Levi's shout-out. It's time to grab your preferred beverage and join us around the hearth for the councils of Kane as we discuss the cute, the weird, and the deadly. Let's go.
Got me some juice.
You know, the more I say the cute, the weird, and the deadly, the more I like that title. You know, it should be your party title or something like that when you play the game.
Yeah. It's your gang name.
There you go. All right. So, we have somebody who we've mentioned before. We've actually mentioned a few people before, and Skrat has a lot of ideas that he mentioned for people, and then Dan has an idea. So I think that we'll have plenty to draw on. We may merge and fuse some of these, but we're going to look first at Sheriff Wyatt Chirp, because it's probably going to be the first main NPC that people are going to be interacting with. The PCs will be interacting with, unless it's someone in the Thorn family who runs the haberdashery, which is from our first episode that you'll hear about. And you'll hear about it in our last episode too, because we got an item suggestion, or an idea for item style suggestion. So, Sheriff Wyatt Chirp, he's a bird, obviously, of some kind. He's the...
Having a brain fart over there?
No, it's typing.
Oh.
I was typing. But...
thought you were mid-sentence.
I was.
Just stopped.
It was kind of in mid-sentence, and I just stopped and started typing because I'm like, I don't need to talk while I'm typing because it makes it harder to edit. But...
Gotcha.
I need a type of bird. A type of bird from the desert.
Kind of on the smaller side, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, because he has to go inside the dodge. Or inside dodge.
Yeah, and hanging out with the mice, right? And the other rodents and critters. So, let's see. I think like a little sparrow, but I don't know if those are deserty.
I think they've got sparrows and finches and stuff like that.
50 birds that live in the desert. That's a fat one. Sandgrouse. It's like a kind of dove shaped, morning dove shaped, but got a pattern on it. An eagle. A boostard. That's almost another word. It looks very large though. They range from 40 to 150 centimeters in length. Oh, here you go. A cactus wren. He looks right. I'll send you a picture. I lost the chat. Here we go. Nope. Cactus wrens are often seen perched atop sagro cacti.
Oh, it's perfect. That's why they have such good connections with the what's the tribe again? Jerboa tribe.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
Oh, you got roadrunners.
MeeP.
MeeP. Apparently, there's hummingbirds in the desert.
Oh, they must migrate there. What was that animal? What was that bird again?
Cactus wren. I think he's got that sheriff look. Though. He's even got like the hat.
Yeah. Hat, sharp beak.
Mm-hmm.
Serious look type of thing.
How big is he, though? He looks small, but that could just be the picture. It's larger than regular U.S. friends, but it doesn't. All right. Let's do a little research. Cactus friend. Oh, he don't look that big. He'll be fine. Just standing on a cactus like it ain't nothing.
All right. So what I've got for Sheriff Wyatt Chirp is he's the well-meaning and well-respected Sheriff of Dodge. He's a cactus wren that lost his ability to fly after he was wounded while hunting down a particularly nasty outlaw. He caught him, but paid the price. He has a strong desire to help his new ground-bound home, but on some nights, when he thinks he is alone, he'll go to the top of Dodge and look up in the sky longingly.
Very good.
You gotta have that little bitter twist when you're doing a Western, you know? Same for a noir. So, that's what I've got mainly for him.
Alright. So you ready for mine?
Yeah.
Got a bunch. Maybe not a bunch, but I got more than we need. So, remember how I said in the earlier episodes you can use mechanical stuff if you want? Like the oil gets in it. More like a traditional blood oiler, we will say. Don't have a name, so you got room to make one, but it's the clockmaker's apprentice. So he likes making tiny little machines and whatnot. Maybe he doesn't always know how he does it. Maybe there's some magic involved there. Maybe he's just a whiz kid. But anyway, he did, and this could carry over into the items, he made him somehow managed to make a music box that starts playing when the oil is near. It starts playing its little tune when the oil gets close. There's also the idea that maybe if you're going the route that the oil wants machines or uses machines, his machines could be attracting the oil unknowingly. Like he's not aware of it. But since he's really good at making these little mechanical contraptions, the oil's coming in for it and it's bringing it to the city, and that could, go in with your adventure hooks, and it could almost be if you wanted to do like a little mystery kind of thing. It's like what's in the town that's bringing these things in? You ready for the next one? Or are you still typing? Let me see.
Okay, so that's one option. Next one.
Let's put this option in there too. There you go.
Okay.
All right. So next one. This one. It's a spider. Big spider. Got to be a lady spider, because spiders always got to be a woman.
It kind of does, because they eat the men. But
yeah.
It would be kind of weird to have a male spider, and then he's just in town chilling, talking about his girlfriend, and then next thing you know, you come to the shop.
Gone.
He's gone.
They went on a date and never came back.
And everybody's just like, yeah. What did you expect was going to happen? Like the players may be like, what? But the PCs would be
no.
like,
You set it up. It's like everybody in town says, "Oh yeah, he went on this, met this girl, went on this date and everything." He just ain't been the same since. Like that's how they say it. Like he just ain't been the same since. And then the players keep asking around, and somebody finally has to spell it out for him. No, he's dead. That's why he's not the same.
Yeah.
She ate him.
But he went out happy.
Yeah.
Okay, spider lady.
Yeah, hanging out on a big web. You got to be in a dark place. It's kind of spooky to get to, and she's neither good nor bad. right? She doesn't really have an allegiance. She's just kind of doing her own thing. She could almost be your weird voodoo witch doctor kind of character trope. But also messing with the oil. Maybe her silk glows when it's nearby. You want to make some items out of that, and I had an idea. I didn't even write it down. Something like you could have some kind of whip you make out of her silk that's covered in oil if you wanted to go that route. Good for snatching things out of the dark or something. But anyway, she hangs around in her web, and she'll even sell the party web wards that'll, like I said, it'll start shimmering when the oil's nearby. So like imagine, well, that's in the item episode. I was thinking of some terrain you had to navigate with oil, and that could help you. But dang, she got another item too. It's a bottle made of her web silk that has oil in it. She captured, and she can. This was before we came up with the Jerboas tribe being able to hear the oil, and I think I had mentioned I had a character like that. She is able to hear the screams in the oil, and like she captured some of it in that bottle she made, and you can like pull it out and hear it. But I'll get more into that in the item episode. So she's creepy, in other words.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Doesn't eat the mice, but it's still like, do we want to go talk to this creepy lady?
All right. Next.
Oh, you want more? We could have. You can't have Prospector in there, right? It's a little crazy from all the digging he's been doing. Maybe got exposed to a little too much oil, or just was too close to it. He hasn't got infected. Like he's not gonna go rabid, but like maybe he's lost a few brain cells. And he could be a mole instead of a mouse. We're digging. Pickwit, the Prospector mole.
Okay. All right. Did you have one or two more?
Well, technically two, but you can kind of same line them. It's a good doctor and a bad doctor. Just a doctor dedicated to trying to cure people if when they get infected with the oil. This is if you're farther along in the story. Or a bad doctor who is secretly injecting people with oil and trying to study it that way.
All right. So, need to pick one of these. Let me make sure that we didn't have a bunch over here. We got NPC option, one NPC option. Okay. I do like Uncle Nuts. So, let's see.
Mm-hmm. The only request or vote for a keep is the spider. That's my vote. Out of the bundle I threw out there.
Okie dokie. Alright, so let's do spider. The Clockmaker's Apprentice is interesting, but probably not going to. Well, the Prospector can be someone they meet in the haberdashery or in the saloon, if they go to the saloon instead, type of thing. So he'll probably come up eventually anyway. The spider lady might be worth mentioning directly, like you're saying, because she and the doctor being good bad, like Jekyll Hyde thing might be fun. But
if you wanted to make it the same character, yeah, or two different ones.
But I think this will be good. Let me see. Should we have her the third character or the? She might be introduced to the players. She might be mentioned.
The spider.
By
she's a little later.
Yeah, she might be mentioned by Lady Featherthorn. As
when she's dying.
Well, not just when she's dying, but like maybe she offhand mentions her living in Dodge when the players first and kind of are heading out back to Dodge. And then that would give them a clue that maybe one or two missions in after that they'll encounter her actually. And then she will directly redirect them to her when they're in the fight, when they're having to fight Lady Featherthorn. So that would be interesting. Did you have a name for her?
I did not. Oh, well, I have her just titled The Weaver, but not a specific name.
Let me see.
I do kind of like the idea of her having that style of name, like not a direct one, but more of a title or something like that people have given her because they're all scared of her and don't actually talk to her. A lot of rumors surrounding her.
Oh, so now we need desert spiders then.
Ooh. Problem with desert spiders is they're typically like tarantulas, aren't they? And don't really do the whole hang on a web thing.
Well, there's trapdoor spiders.
Yeah, but they hang out underground, right?
They weave their web.
What
yeah, they use their webs underground.
Yeah, see, I like the idea of one hanging on the web in the dark.
Have you ever seen
very tropey spider?
Have you ever seen Krull from the 80s?
Krull.
Yeah, it's a very early 80s movie. It is.
I know of it. I haven't seen it.
It's actually a spectacular example of sci-fi.
That's the one with
fantasy.
He has the thing he throws, the terrible weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the only reason I know of it. It's because of that.
I'll start getting.
I should watch that.
You should watch it. I think it's good.
See, is that on my brother's list of things here?
I don't know. You're supposed to be looking up spiders.
Okay. All right. Back to spiders. Here's a very long-legged one. It doesn't have a name. Very good. Course, that visually could be intimidating, I guess. One of these long-legged ones, like you go in a dark cave and you just see these big long legs coming out, and it's like it's your mouse, so it's like it's over you, towering over you. Six-eyed sand spider.
The six-eyed
tarantula. A desert recluse. Close relative of the brown recluse, but lives in the desert. The spider's bite kills the cells and tissues. Doesn't say anything about how big it is. Black widows are apparently in the desert. I mean, that's always a winner, right? She's not very big, though.
I don't suppose you have to be. You can either go with the small one or the really long-legged one was also a good idea.
A sand wolf spider. A giant crab spider. He's just goofy looking.
Oh, those things are scary, though, because they're big, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just his picture, but like he's not actually propped up on his legs. He's just like a crab, kind of flat. I have no idea how big this desert recluse is, but man, he's got some lengthy legs on him.
Well, if you go with the lengthy legs, you'll get something a bit more intimidating. If you go with the Black Widow, she's technically smaller than all the...
That's what I'm saying. She's small.
But she's also very deadly. So...
Yeah. I was leaning more into my mind went to size. Large spider hanging on a web, but then that'd be the six-eyed sand spider looks to be fairly large, but I don't know if it actually is or not. But the Black Widow, I guess, solid black, you kind of left to wonder, are they covered in oil? Are they not? Let's see. Six-eyed sand spider. Let's look that one up specifically. Oh, he doesn't look very big at all. Oh, he's tiny. He's like this big.
Well, elsewhere we can make them bigger, but...
That's true. You could also make your own spooter. What was the other one? Desert Recluse. I'm going to assume that one's very small too. Yeah, there's one with a penny for comparison next to it.
All your spider idea is getting
tiny. Small. Well, how big's the trapdoor spider?
Those are bigger.
Yeah. It's just too meaty for a spider.
It's literally a spider, and you're like, it's too meaty for a spider. It's literally a spider.
For the spider I want. The owlet orb weavers are such a scary and cool looking spider. Because their legs are just so long and like stick shaped. And they just hang there all day. And as soon as something hits their web, they just 90 miles an hour. It's ridiculous. Now you got those, spiders in Australia that sometimes catch birds in their webs.
Yep.
Large Australian spooter. I'm gonna have nightmares tonight.
Well, let's see.
A huntsman spider.
Yeah.
You familiar with that one? Yeah.
She could be called the Widow. Or something like that.
And you expect a Black Widow, and then the huge spider shows up.
Or you could do something that's not specifically spider-esque. You could do like Lady Longlegs. Oh.
But still be a spider, or
Longlegs are technically in the arachnid family, yeah, I believe. Yeah.
Well, I was really wanting the web silk stuff, so.
I don't think that they make webs, though.
The Rufios net casting spider. A nocturnal hunter with excellent eyesight and hunts with a silk net to catch its prey. And eats other spiders.
What does?
This net casting spider, Rufus net casting spider, eats ants, beetles, crickets, and other spiders.
Gotcha.
Can vary in color from pink to brown. Well, 25 millimeters long. That's not very. That's just an inch.
You said the desert recluse was small. We can always make it bigger.
Yeah, you could. And you could make a Black Widow bigger too, if you wanted to. It's just the desert recluse does have some very long legs on it.
Did you see the dancing white lady?
No. I suppose if I search that, I should definitely put spider on the end of it. Who's that little guy? He's very ghostly looking.
Mm-hmm.
You could have fun with that.
There's this ghostly figure that people mention going around the town.
Mm-hmm. And it's got the legs where they go like kind of up and then out. At least in this picture.
Yeah. Maybe she likes to dance in the moonlight.
It's the only time she come out of her cave to dance.
She's called the White Lady. Okay. So, we already read Sheriff Wyatt Chirp. So, for the listeners, we've got the White Lady, Sylvia Dancer, is what I've got her true name as. Oh, hold on. Okay, viewers. So, reworked that a little bit. Added something to Sheriff Wyatt Chirp. Let me see. He has a strong... looks at the sky longingly. Got that. I also added has a reluctant respect for Uncle Nuts and will sometimes draw on his information since he helped him before to catch that outlaw that we mentioned. He knows the White Lady's real name and will use it when speaking to her privately. The outlaw that messed up his wing was wanted for something it had done to her.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've got the White Lady, which is what most people call her, or Sylvia Dancer. Sylvia for kind of silky kind of name, Sylvia. Mm-hmm. She's a spider, white dancing white lady on a web in a dark place. She's creepy, likes to dance in the moonlight. Neither good nor bad, mystical character probably. Possible item maker. Has a deep respect for Sheriff Chirp for how he brought the outlaw that hurt her to justice. Few in town know her real name, or even fewer call her by it. And she's mentioned in passing by people, especially Lady Featherthorn, at the end of Slow and Steady, as someone the PCs could interact with if they need some help with weird things while in Dodge. And then we have Dan's recommendation, which is Silvertail Uncle Nuts Varnish. He's a grizzled, dappered squirrel in a pinstriped vest and acorn-shaped cufflinks. Uncle Nuts runs the Thorn Haberdashery. I had to kind of tweak a few things. With a silver tongue and a soft spot for orphans and old war buddies. Though his paws are in everything from sap smuggling to beetle racing, I thought those were appropriate. He enforces a strict no harm to innocence policy. Beneath his swagger and sharp teeth lies a code of honor carved from loyalty, fairness, and a deep love for his forest community. I'm going to say for Dodge. Anything you want to add to any of these, I guess? We got Sheriff Wyatt Chirp and the White Lady pretty... Got several points for them. Anything you want to add to Uncle Nuts?
Nah.
He's
pretty solid.
We're pretty well interconnected. Oh, hold on. I got something. Fix this up here. Okay. Anything else before we shift over to our next chat?
A pretty solid cast.
Yeah. And we're getting a nice interconnection. This allows the trade one to be given by Uncle Nuts instead of the sheriff. Even though they're connected, either one of them can now give the quest.
Let's say we got these locations are connected, characters are connected, and all this stuff. Like, it's beginning to feel very tight-knit versus where we normally just have, random things like, oh, you do this, you do that, you do this. Now we got like a whole world going on here almost.
Oh yeah, we got a nice
And
little
not a world, a full setting. And I guess maybe that's because we started with, we're actually using a solid setting that's already established versus like when we did the Transformers one. It's like, yes, it's Transformers, but you can be on, we had ideas for Cybertron, we had ideas for the Planet of the Junk, we had ideas for being on Earth, it was very vague Transformers, whereas we have started out a little more focused. So maybe that's what did it.
Well, we were focused to one location, one city, Dodge.
Mm-hmm.
So everything that was happening centralized to that city, with locations elsewhere you would go to, instead of being in different locations. So, yeah. Okie dokie. That looks good to me. So, that means we're done with Kane's conversations. Time for Skrat's final question.
It's time for your comment of the day.
There's no Skrat's final question?
Well, don't you need a comment of the day first?
We keep saying, well, we've done a lot of the different things here. Oh, we can say comment of the day is a web of connections.
Ah, cheesy. All right. Pretty good though. So the question I found, sometimes I make these, sometimes I go Google them, and one was I found was, can a villain be small? Now I feel like everybody's going to say, well, yes, absolutely. But so the second part of this is, can a villain be small? Yes. But how do you make a small villain feel large? Or like, threatening, something like that. A big problem.
Well, how do you make him feel that way, or how do you have him actually be that way? Might be my question.
I'd say feel. So like, let's scratch out villain, and let's say our white lady is actually really small. Like we kept finding the spiders that were actually really tiny. How would you make that feel large and dangerous?
Well, a lot of it has to do with the mystique around them, like their how others people think about them. Because a lot of, even if you look through history, in real life, a lot of people were about average height, or around that. Yet they had large impacts, and people respected them. So the respect other people had nothing to really do with their stature. So Napoleon was average. I know people present him as being small, but he wasn't. He's actually about average height, 5'9", which is actually a little taller back then. But he has a big personality. So big personality can do it. Accomplishment can do it. But a lot of what can do it is the way other people feel about them. So you can have this one guy, this one little mouse, or something like that, a little shrew, a little small rodent, sitting there, and he's sitting behind his desk, but beside him are two big rats, and they take orders from him. All of a sudden, you have an aura. He has an aura about him that is much more imposing, not because of how big he is, but because of how big those that follow him are. Like Zootopia did that. I've seen clips of Zootopia, and Zootopia has this little shrew that's got polar bears as his bodyguards. Well, you respect the shrew not because he's big, but because everybody he's influencing is big.
Mm-hmm.
So, you don't have to have power. You don't have to demonstrate power to demand respect in that way, you might say. But with the lady, it's a little different. Hers is a vagueness and an unknown that makes her mystique. And it makes her mysterious and makes her difficult to pin down and figure out. And that makes her creepy, if not scary.
Can dig it.
All right. That kind of along your answer, or did you have a different kind of idea?
No. I like that. That's good.
Okie dokie.
That's good.
All right. Well, we got these set down. Hopefully you guys enjoyed them. That means we're done with Skrat's final question, and it's time for the outro. So the outro we've got is, just remember to check out Tales from Elsewhere, who we've been shouting out and stuff like that. Also, Mouse Ritter is something you can check out too. We didn't mention it much this time, but you can check it out.
It's pay what you want, so you can try it out for free. And if you decide you like it, throw them some bucks. If you decide you really like it, you can throw him some more bucks. And Tales from Elsewhere will soon TM be available.
Yep.
So at some point in the near future, I think. Well, I don't know. It's moving along. I thought I was gonna say I think it's gonna be out this year, but I don't know if it will or not. I don't know if that's actually, because like I know when the Kickstarter is gonna come up, but I don't know if it's gonna be done when he launches the Kickstarter. You know how some people like have everything done and they want the Kickstarter to more hard copies and all that. I don't know what all that's going to involve. So, but like you got the PDF in front of you and like version 9 or something. So, or 0.9, or am I thinking of
the beta
one?
that I have is still the 0.3.3.
Oh, all right. Well,
I might have less than you do.
I got the same one. I just didn't have it open. So
Okie dokie.
maybe it has a ways to go. We'll see. It'll be here when it gets here, but it is chugging along.
Okie dokie. So that's Tales from Elsewhere. Check out also A Squirrel Plays on YouTube. He's got all that there. Talked about his experience with using fear as a narrative device with theirs in Tales from Elsewhere. And check out the Inn of Planar Crossroads at innofplanarcrossroads.com or the iopc.com. Either one of those works. And supporting us even once gets you access to our Discord, where we put any kind of things that we create. They will be shared there. And also it gives you access, put your name on our little scroll there for in our bloopers and outtakes that is at the end of every episode. So there you go. Yes, that's everything, travelers. As always, have a great day. God bless and enjoy. Bye.
This content was made possible by travelers and viewers like you. Thank you.
Oh, excuse me. Excuse me again. Is that what that actually is? Or alright. A net casting spider. That's just all leg. Doesn't even look like a spider. But it does look rather large. Old Zilla.
Oh man. Should we say Zill or Zilla? I think.
Zilla.
Old man Zilla.